Million miles away, your signal in the distance, to whom it may concern. I think I lost my way, getting good at starting over every time that I return. I'm learning to walk again. I believe I've waited long enough. Where do I begin? I'm learning to talk again. Can't you see I've waited long enough? Where do I begin? You remember the days we built these paper mountains, then sat and watched them burn. I think I found my place. Can't you see it growing stronger? It'll conquer us. I'm running to walk again. I believe I've waited long enough. Where do I begin? I'm running to talk again. Can't you see I've waited long enough? Where do I begin? Hi guys, welcome to another Foo Fighters Friday. Today we've got Walk. So I'm teaching you how to play the rhythm parts to it, the Dave Grohl parts if you will, and also we'll cover the lead line at the start of the song as well to make sure you can play the whole thing. And of course you have to appreciate the irony of a man who writes a song called Walk and then breaks his leg on stage. But I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, and I have to say, Walk has a bit of a special significance for me personally. My dad passed away in October 2010, and obviously everyone knows that's going to be something that sort of knocks you off your feet and takes a long while to get over. And then it was around 6 months later after that, in 2011, when the Foo Fighters brought out Wasting Light, and this was one of the songs off that. And that coincided with the first time I'd seen them live as well, so I was really excited about it. And then I heard this song called Walk, and hearing that, you know, learning to walk again, and seeing them live, seeing them sing that live, that song just kind of spoke to me, and you can imagine how it did. You know, it started to mean a lot to me, and from a band that I already really liked already, for them then to sort of give you a song that speaks so much to you and ends up actually being a hit as well, that ends up getting the mainstream. Yeah, it really struck a chord with me, as it will, so I definitely had to make sure that I taught this one on this series of videos that I'm doing. Do check out any of the other Foo Fighters songs that I've got in the playlist by clicking this cards feature in the top corner up here. And subscribe if you do like what I do to follow and support the channel. But let's get you in for a close-up now to check out how to play Walk by the Foo Fighters. Walk by the Foo Fighters starts with an A power chord, and the easiest way that we can play that is putting our first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string here, and then we're going to strum just string 5 and 4 together at the same time, but try not to hit any other strings at all. And then the strumming pattern we want to use for the first verse and the first chorus is just 8ths all down, so down, 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 in a pattern of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. To do that, I'm very much strumming from the wrist, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because I'm only strumming those 2 strings, 5, which is the open A, and 4. And we're going to also palm mute that for the entire intro and the verse and the chorus. So this is putting the outside of the palm of your strumming hand on the bridge here, and it doesn't matter whether you're using an electric or an acoustic guitar, you will still get this sort of chunky, heavier sound. But there is very much a sweet spot. If you're too far this way, or you're pressing on too hard, it sounds like this. If you're too far this way, it doesn't sound any different to normal strumming. But if I move this way, there's the sweet spot, overshot it a little, move back till you find that sweet spot. And that takes us through the first 3 lines of the song. So all through the intro and the first verse. A million miles away. We want to just stay on that A chord, which sort of builds up the tension of the song. Your signal in the distance, to whom it may concern. And then from there, from the start of the second part of the first verse, I think I lost my way on the word where we change to an E power chord, which the easiest way to play that is move your first finger up to the 2nd fret of string 5 and play string 6 and 5. And the chord sequence will go to the E chord that is repeated for the rest of this song pretty much. It then goes to a B chord, or a B5, B power chord, which you can play by putting your first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your little finger or your 3rd finger at the 4th fret of the 4th string. So they are on different strings. Sometimes people put them on the same one. You want to make sure they're on different strings. Some people find this too much of a stretch to do with the normal power chord 3rd finger kind of idea. So using your little finger is the way that I would play it, and I've also seen Dave Grohl play it this way as well, so that's all well and good. And then the final chord is a D power chord, which you can play by just putting your first finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and playing string 4 and 3. So each one of these chords lasts for 2 bars in the chord sequence. So with this 8th strumming, we'd want to go 1, 2, 3. That's an A power chord to an E power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And D, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that takes us through the second part of the verse, and then the verse and the chorus for the whole rest of the song. It's that same chord sequence, it's just the strumming that's going to change for the second verse. So one more time just through those chords. A power chord first on an A5, E5, thickest 2 strings, first finger where it is here, playing, as I say, the thickest 2. And then a B power chord. Boom, there it is, first finger, little finger, nothing else down, but we only want to strum strings 5 and 4. And then a D power chord, plain strings, just strings 4 and 3, first finger, 2nd fret of the G string. One top tip is when you change in between the E and the B power chord, your first finger actually doesn't have to move. So from the A to the E, it just moves up a string, then it doesn't have to move, your little finger just goes down. But on that B power chord you can also mute the thickest E string with your first finger by it touching there, just in case you strum it accidentally, your first finger is there covering it. But essentially that's the chord sequence for the first verse and the first chorus. But remember, to start the song we're going to stay on that A chord for a little bit longer. So I'll talk you through that now, and we'll have a play through. You play along with me, I will count you in and tell you when to change chords, so if you have to you can rewind this video, have a few attempts at it if you want, but we'll go nice and slow, give everyone a chance to play along to this intro. And from the A chord, so you want to be doing this. Or just do your palm muting and just stay on that A chord and join into me in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, we're into a verse, but stay on that chord. A million miles away, stay on that A chord, stay on the A chord. Your signal in the distance, We're still on an A5. Okay, and now we're in the other chord sequence. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Change to E. E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. A B. B, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and a D finally. So from the top of that again, 2, 3, from an A, 2, 3, 4. Learning to walk to E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. B, power chord, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and D, 2, 3, 4, 1. Same again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm learning to talk again. That's an E chord. E, 2, 3. Can't you see I've waited long enough? And a D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that takes us to the end of the first verse. So we're in sort of there's a little interlude where we just stay on an A chord and just hitting on that power 8s. With just 8th sol down strumming, 1 and 2 and 3. Same strumming you were doing before. And if you want to do a quicker down up, 1, 2, 3, 4, down up down, that sounds really cool as well. Sounds really cool. And then we do the same chord sequence as we did before, but we've got a different style of muting for the second verse. It sounds like this. Okay, so this is still 8th sol down strumming, but we're muting beats 2 and 4, which is where the snare falls on this song and most songs. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Snare is part of a drum kit, and it's the loudest sort of pulse the loudest part that we have rhythmically. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you want to be thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And try not to mute at all the strums. They want to sound nice and big and loud. And then silence. And there's no real percussive hit you want to do here. You could do that on acoustic, but in this, we want real silence, which is done by placing the outside of your hand again, like the palm muting, but over the middle of the guitar here, where you would strum, nearer this neck pickup here on any style of guitar. You've got to pick up there. You'll get a better silence if you mute there rather than here. This is for dampening, really, palm dampening we can call that, and this one, muting, so we're on silence. And just as a short demo of that one time for that verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. You remember the E chord. B chord. Okay, that's what we repeat just twice for that verse, and then we get to the second chorus where it's the same as the first chorus but without palm muting, basically. I'm learning to walk again. I believe I've waited long enough. Where do I begin? Okay? And then after that second chorus, we get to the middle 8 of this song, which is a different chord sequence this time. It kind of starts now. For the very first time. Don't you pay no mind. Set me free again. Okay, so that was 4 bars of the A chord this time. And then another 4 bars of an E chord. 2 bars of a new chord, which is an F sharp power chord, F sharp 5. So think about this as just your B power chord moved up a string. That's the way it's going to work best for most people who follow my channel. And then to that D power chord. that we played before. So it's 4 bars, 4 bars, 2 and 2. So that one more time, and this repeats for the whole I never wanna die, I never wanna die, all that section, okay? Play along with me in 1, 2, 3, 4, A chord. No palm muting, just strum it with 8s. 3, 4, 1, 2, change to E, E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, change to F sharp, that's the 2nd fret on the thickest E, then to a D, and one more time, to keep alive, one moment at a time, but still stay on an A chord, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then F sharp, I'm on my knees, I'm praying to a D chord, D, 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 and then it just repeats, I never wanna die, I never wanna die, I'm on my knees, I never wanna die, E chord, E, then to F sharp, forever, whatever, I never wanna die, forever. And then we're back to a chorus after one strum of an A, I'm learning to walk again. And that was a little, that, okay, so, I'm learning to walk again, without me singing. 2 or 3 little strums. And then it's chorus till the end of the song. So that's pretty straightforward from a chords point of view. The power chords might be new to you, but they're fairly straightforward to do. It's the strumming and the rhythm that you'll want to pay attention to. And my strumming guitar course that I've recently released may help you if you want more help with this palm muting in terms of the chugs or these sort of silences. If all that's something that you've not integrated into your playing in general, that may be something to really help you. The final part of the song we're going to cover in this lesson is the octave part that generally happens at the end of the chorus. Okay, so this happens. I'm learning to walk again. I believe I've waited long enough. And instead of going to a D chord, we can do this. Okay, so we start off with your first finger on the 5th string at 5th fret, and your little finger on the 3rd string at 7th fret. But this first finger has to do a lot more than just hold this one string down. It's got to mute, ideally the thickest string, and all the other strings. Okay, so this wants to just lay against them. So imagine you've just put your first finger flat on that fret, and you've relaxed it. It's touching the string, but it's not on the fretboard. Nothing's going to ring out. If we press down that one string, touch the thickest one with the top of your finger, and then have it relaxed and pressed against the strings but not pressing down to the fretboard at any other string, I can strum all 6 strings and only this one string rings out. But it sounds very different if I pick that one string or strum everything. You know, we get a lot more vibrant sound. It's got a lot more energy to it when I do this. And then when we add this extra note in with the little finger, we're playing the octave of that D, and it sounds very vigorous, it sounds very exciting. Okay, so we want to do that. If we just keep an eye where your first finger is, because the other one's, when we move, is always just going to be 2 frets above. We're going to essentially keep your hand still and your finger still, and just slide everything up. So we're going to start first finger at 6. So we're going to start with first finger at the 5th fret, and then we're going to go to 7th fret, 8th, and 10th. So it hits the dot at 5th, dot at 7th, space at 8th, and the space at 10th as well. And you want to do down, up of every one of those. And that is replacing that D chord basically. So if you weren't on a D chord before, we replace it to that. And yes, the change from the B chord, you know, is a little not ideal for total beginners, but this will bring you on just that next step along from doing power chords into this world of adding lead guitar embellishment. So just a demo where that would happen one more time, and the tab for all this, links will be to my website in the description below, and you'll be able to find the tab for that on my website. I'm learning to walk again. Can't you see I've waited long enough? Then I'm learning to talk again. That's the idea. Will take a little bit of time if it's totally new to you, but other than that, that is how to play Walk by the Foo Fighters. So that's how to play Walk by the Foo Fighters. As I say, be sure to check out all the other songs in a playlist that we've got from this Foo Fighters Fridays series of videos. Subscribe to follow and support the channel and get all the newest uploads straight to you. And you can check out all my lessons all for free at andyguitar.co.uk. About 300 song and guitar lessons on there now, so I'm sure you'll find something that takes your fancy, and hope to see you in one of those lessons. Let me know of any Foo Fighters songs you'd like to do, and any Foo Fighters songs that have been significant to you. I'd love to read your stories in the comments below, and I hope to see you guys again. Bye for now.